Hi, I'm Tia. Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to share with you all of the books that I acquired during the month of January. So first I'm going to start out with my Book of the Month Club books. I have since actually canceled my Book of the Month Club subscription. So I have my January ones and I had to get my February ones because when I decided to cancel, it was the end of January when I decided I went to cancel, and they said if you cancel now you're gonna lose your February credit or your book credit or whatever. So it's like if they've already charged you for the next month, then they don't refund that money if you want to cancel, which really doesn't make any sense to me. But anyway, I've canceled Book of the Month and I don't plan on ever going back to them, but we'll see. I don't plan on going back to them. Anyway, but for January, I did pick up The Fury by Alex Michaelides. I honestly don't really know anything about this. Whenever I've seen people talk about it or seen that they have it in a wrap-up or in a haul, I just skip over that part because I don't want to know anything about this book at all before I read it. I've read his other two books, The Silent Patient and The Maidens, and I absolutely loved them. So I want to go into this blind and I don't want to hear what anyone's ratings or thoughts on it are because I have a tendency to let that get in my head and affect my reading experience. So there's that. And then I also got First Lie Wins by Ashley Elston. I have heard a tiny bit about this one. I think people are actually enjoying this one, so that's good. And I know this is a thriller about a girl, I think, who is pretending to be someone that she's not or something like that. I honestly try not to know too much about thrillers because I don't want to be spoiled before reading them. And then I have Shark Heart, a love story by Emily Haybeck, I think is how you say her name. So this one I saw on people's favorites list for last year, which is why I went ahead and put it into my Book of the Month Club box for this month. So I do know a lot about this one already. This is about a married couple. I think they have not been married for too long whenever they find out that the guy has a medical condition in which he is gradually going to turn into a shark. And I don't know why that sounded fascinating to me. Hopefully it turns out that I like this one because I think some of the people that I heard say they loved this also recommended The Writing Retreat, which was also a book that I put in my January book box and I read in January and really didn't like and have unhauled since. So that's why it's not here for this haul, but hopefully our tastes match up on Shark Heart, even though they didn't work out for The Writing Retreat. Then I actually bought a lot of fantasy in January. Yeah, I feel like I go back and forth between, some months I buy a lot of mysteries, some months I buy a lot of fantasy, some months I buy a lot of romance. Apparently in January I was feeling the fantasy. So this is One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. I feel like this was all over Instagram the end of December, beginning of January. I saw so many people post about this, and some people who I think I can trust their opinions. I guess we'll find out, but I really don't know a ton about this one except for it's following this girl. I think it's a fantasy romance, honestly. I don't know. It says maiden, monster, martyr, and I think that she has like a monster in her head or something who advises her and tells her what to do. I really don't know. That sounds weird, right? Because when I heard that, I was like, I don't know. But then everybody kept saying how wonderful it was, so I went ahead and got it. Okay, and then I think I was trying to enter my werewolf. I think I was trying to enter my werewolf phase, so I got a couple of werewolf books. Yeah, I really want 2024 to be my werewolf vampire era, apparently. So anyway, I picked up Raised by Wolves by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. Me and my kids are really into werewolves lately, and I was trying to find some books that I thought that maybe my teens could read as well. So I saw that this one is good, and that it has good ratings. And Jennifer Lynn Barnes has written a ton of other stuff that a lot of people like, but I haven't actually heard anyone talk about this one. I just looked it up on Goodreads. But yeah, I think it's following this girl who I guess was raised by wolves, and she sees one of the guys like have a transformation, and that's really all I know besides that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to trying this one out. And then I also got Silver in the Blood by Jessica Day George, who is an author who I have enjoyed several of her other books before. So I'm hoping that this one is good as well. This one sounds really intriguing because it is like a historical book set around the 1890s about these two debutantes who don't really know much about their family history. I think that their ancestors are from Romania, and so they have to travel back to Romania to learn more about their family, and their family is somehow tied to Dracula, which makes me think that their family is like werewolves and they serve Dracula or something. I'm not sure. It sounds really interesting, honestly, and I can't wait to read this one because, like I said, I've really enjoyed her writing in the past. Another one that I have seen on Instagram and picked up without knowing too much about it. So this is The Scarlet Veil by Shelby Mahurin, who wrote another series that was really popular on BookTube and Instagram last year, a couple years ago, which I didn't actually read, but this one is about vampires. So yeah, that's what drew me in, and people saying that it was great and that they actually liked it better than her previous series. So I went ahead and grabbed it, and that's all I know about it is vampires. And then another one that everyone was talking about is Belladonna by Adeline Grace. This was all over Bookstagram, and I think several people said this was one of their favorites of last year as well. So that's why I grabbed it. And yeah, I'm sorry, I don't really know much about these, except for I've heard so many people say that this was just an excellent book, and I think the sequel just came out recently. I think that this one has to do with Belladonna, and I think it's a fantasy romance as well. Obviously it has to do with Belladonna. Duh. I don't know why I said such a stupid thing. Okay, then I do have a thriller here that I picked up called Kill for Me, Kill for You by Steve Kavanaugh. So I've only read one other thing by this author, but I really enjoyed it. It was called 13, and it was a thriller written by the perspective of the serial killer. And that one was really, really interesting. Definitely thrilling and page turner for sure. So I'm hoping that this one is just as thrilling. I think that this one feels kind of like that other book by Peter Swanson, where two people meet and like they both have someone that they want out of their lives, so they sort of agree to, you know, do the other person's in. So like, was that movie Throw Mama from the Train? Isn't that the theme of that movie as well? That old movie from the 80s. Definitely showing my age, but anyway, yeah. So I'm looking forward to this one because I have, like I said, enjoyed this author before, and this concept I've enjoyed before as well. Then I picked up a copy of Trust of the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson. This is one of his secret project books, and everybody was talking about it last year, and I'm so sad I didn't read it last year. I did have a copy on my Kindle, but I really prefer to read books physically, and then also kind of read them on my Kindle as well. Like go read the physical book during the day, and then at nighttime when my husband goes to sleep or whatever and I'm still up, I can read on my Kindle or on my phone the same book, you know, that I'm reading during the day. I don't really like to read multiple books at a time, so I prefer to have the same book in both formats if possible. So I generally will read the physical book and then check the ebook out from my library. But anyway, that was a little bit of a tangent. So I'm sure you've heard about this book, but I think that this is kind of like a pirate story and kind of like, what's that movie that everybody does? The Princess Bride. So I think this is like a piratey Princess Bride, really fun fantasy story is what everyone's saying, and I can't wait to read it as well. And then the very last one I have here to show you is Yumi and the Nightmare Painter, also by Brandon Sanderson, another one of his Cosmere secret project books from last year. From last year? Yes, I think this came out last year, but I just got it in January. Anyway, I really don't know what this one's about, honestly, and I haven't heard too many people talk about it. I think I've only heard like one or two people talk about it, and I don't really remember too much about what they said, except for I think that people can paint dreams or paint nightmares, and I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, honestly, but I trust that this is going to be a great book as well. Honestly, I've only read one Brandon Sanderson book, I think that's right, which is crazy because I own so many of them, and I just need to dedicate some time to catching up on his stuff for sure. Anyway, well, let me know down in the comments if you have read any of these books and what you thought about them with no spoilers. Let me know which one you think I should get started on first. That would be great. And anything else you want to chat about down there, I would love to hear as well. I hope that you are all having a great day and reading something great, and I will see you next time.